Alright, this is a tutorial of fruit picking on Board Game Arena. It's a fairly simple game, but there are a few counterintuitive concepts that might be helpful to explain out and show and how it's integrated within BGA. So this is a setup of a new game. It's my turn on the first game. Everybody will have a board like this with fruits that will be randomly placed around, but typically everybody has the same orientation. There's a variation where you can randomize everybody's board, but these fruits in this water circle or farm will be in a different place each game. Then this is your harvest house or your market um, that is always there at the top. Um, Here are the market cards. These are cards that you can buy, and they will slide down as things are bought, slide down this row and become cheaper, and as people buy them. And to win the game, you have to buy enough cards to meet one of the victory conditions, and that could be getting one of every type of fruit card, 3 pairs of fruit cards, one, four of a single kind of fruit card, or a full house basically, 2 of one and 3 of another. First person to meet one of these victory conditions with their cards wins, and the current round finishes so that everybody has the same number of turns. And if 2 people finish victory condition in the same round, then there's a tiebreaker. You can see on the right the different players and underneath which cards they have. It'll also display it under their boards as it goes along, so everybody can see everybody's cards. So the way the game works is you choose one of these circles where you have these seeds on them. And you'll see in BGA it shows you the number of seeds that are on each board, and there's 12 in the middle. This is a limited storage. If you try to pull out seeds and there aren't any there, then it won't give you any more. But see, I have 2 seeds on this water farm, 2 seeds on the plums, 2 on the banana. And in each of your turns, you pick one of these, and it, Mancala style, picks up all of the seeds from that circle and drops them one at a time. And then the place where you land will let you do certain things. Now, there are a couple of concepts here that are important to remember that are kind of those counterintuitive concepts that I explained before. The first is the number of individual fruits on these circles and cards is important. So it's important to know that the pineapple is a 1 fruit card, the bananas are 2, plums are 2, and strawberries are 3, and the pears are 1. That'll come into play in a few different places. The other thing to note is that when you buy a card, you only use seeds that exist on this harvest house. It's not the seeds that exist where you land, it's the seeds that exist in the harvest house. All your payment comes from this harvest house circle. So if you don't have seeds there, you cannot buy a card. All right, so basic turns is you choose a circle that has seeds on it. It does Moncala style. And then when you land on that circle, you can do one of 2 things. You can either water that circle, and that will increase the number of seeds on that circle by the number of fruit. Remember that. 1 for pineapple and pear, 2 for plum and banana, 3 for strawberry. So if I click this, and then in this circle, the water circle, you can only water, and it'll just increase by 2 because there's 2 water droplets. But if, for example, I choose this water droplet, then it'll put 1 here and 1 here, and this is where I end. And because this is the banana farm and I can't buy any cards because I don't have anything in my harvest, and the only thing that I can do is water the bananas and which will add 2 seeds to this banana tile. and then my turn will be over. And BGA will do that for me. If I can't buy anything, it will not let me buy anything, and it'll just water it automatically for me. And so you'll see it come through, and it'll just automatically bring you new seeds, and you may wonder why did it do that? Because you didn't have any options. All you could do was water. Um, as you can see here, then the 2 came from here, and my turn was over. And so now I have 5 on this, and now I can think ahead. Okay, 5 means 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would end on the water, but I would have put something in the harvest house, which is good because now I can start building up seeds here and buying stuff. And when I do that, then I can start looking at buying cards and planning out which cards that I want. So you can do so the 2 things you can do when you land on a card are either water it, which is often the only thing you can do, or you can buy one of the market cards. Now the cost of the market cards is the number of the fruit on the card. So 2 plums, 3 strawberries, 1 pineapple, 3 strawberries. That's that question mark symbol here. The number on the card, the number of fruit on the card, plus there could be a bonus cost or an extra cost for it. So this one is the most expensive. This one only costs what's on the card. So in this case, this plum card only costs 2. This strawberry card costs 3 plus 1, so it's 4. This pineapple costs 1 for the pineapple plus 2, so this one costs 3. And this one costs 6, 3 for the strawberry and 3 for the extra bonus. And again, if I buy this plum card, everything shifts down, 1 comes out, and so things get cheaper as they go along down the line. Okay, this is a little farther down the game. You can see I've got seeds kind of spread out throughout my farm, and I've got 1 here in the market. I can't really buy me anything yet, but I wanted to point out another thing that you can do. So if you land on the harvest house, on your marketplace piece here, you get to go again. And so you can see how that might allow you to load up your harvest house before trying to get what you're looking for. And so in this case, I've got a 3 here. I know I could land in the harvest house here with 1, 2, 3, but I could also plan it out where I first load the strawberries in, and that 1, then I get to go again. I do the 3, then I have 2 on this one, so I could do 2, and I would actually also have 1 on this one. So I could even plan it out to where I go 1, then 3, then 1 again, then 2. And I'd end up with like 5 in my harvest house. I don't know if I did it this turn, but you can see how you can really load in that harvest house because every time you land in it, you get to go again. It's only when you land on something else that you have to make a decision either to water or buy a market card. So let's see what I did here. Okay, so I could have done it more efficiently, but I stopped on the harvest house, and then I stopped on the harvest house again. So now I have 3 in the harvest house. And then I landed on, from this third 3 one, I landed on the plums. Now in this case, this gives me the opportunity to buy a plum card. And you can see up here that I can either water plants, which would add 2 more to this plum spot, or I can collect a market card because this one's right here. And I can afford it because it only costs 2, right? 2 fruit, and that's the only thing that there's no bonus cost to it. And I have 4 in my harvest house. Now the other thing to remember that when you buy a harvest or a market card, because you've landed on that spot, remember, I landed on the plum spot, so that allows me to buy a plum card. I can't buy a strawberry card from the plum spot or anything else. I can only buy a plum card if it exists. When you do that, it takes the cost out of the harvest house. In this case, it would be 2, but it also clears everything off of your plum space as well. And so I would, in this case, it's, maybe I'll do it because I want to get that card. It's an important card, and I don't want anyone else to have it. But it is also a loss because I'm losing 5 of my seeds that I could use to save up and buy other cards with and to load into it. But let's see what I did. There you go. I ended up buying it anyway, and so I lost all 5 of those, and I lost 2 of the Harvest House cards. And so now I'm going to kind of start over and start building those seeds up again. So it probably wasn't the most efficient move, but that ended up being the way I do it. But you can see how you can plan out those moves with that harvest house to really load it up and then find the thing that you're looking for. It takes a little bit of planning ahead, but you can really get some combos going through that. All right, let's skip ahead again. Okay, I have skipped all the way to the very end of the game because it was basically everything was the same, just collecting cards and such. And we'll see, here we are. The reason that this is the end of the game is because one of my opponents here has collected one of each card, which is one of the victory conditions. They have 2 strawberries, but they have at least one of each card, which is one of those 4. Again, a full house, 4 of one kind, 3 pairs, or 1 of each. I also have 2 of one and 3 of the others. And this is the last round, and I went last to begin with. You can see here the first turn marker, so I'm the last person that gets to go. And I tried to figure out, I knew this was coming, and so I tried to figure out, is there a way that I can get that strawberry card right there in order to get a victory condition, and then it would go to a tiebreaker. And there is a way to do that with this setup. So you can see here, this 2 lets me drop one here and put one here. Now I have 2 in the harvest house. Then there would be 1 here. I can drop that one in the harvest house and go again. And then I can use these bananas to go 1, 2, 3, land on the strawberry and buy that strawberry card. So what I do, you can see here, 2, then 1, then 3, and then I can collect that market card. By the way, when you collect a market card, you don't choose which one. I mean, sometimes you could do either one, like if there were 2 strawberry cards here and I had 4 in here, maybe I could do this one or this one, but it always gives you the cheapest one, and you just click collect market card and it does it for you. And that ended up being the end of the game. Now my opponent won here because it went to a tiebreaker. We both got one victory condition here, but the first tiebreaker is the number of fruit on the visible cards there. And so you can see I have 2 pineapples, so that's 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then 10 here. But they had 2 strawberries, so that's 6 fruit, 8, 10, 11, 12, and so they won the tiebreaker. If we'd been the same, then I would have won because I had more seeds out from the middle. That's the second tiebreaker. That's the game. Again, there's a couple of concepts that are really important to remember. How many fruit exist on the card rather than how many seeds are on whatever fruit you land on. That's not what's important. It's just where you land and how much you have in the harvest house so that you can buy those cards. And then, yeah, it's just planning those moves out and timing it out so you can get those cards when you need them, and pulling off those combos with that harvest house. Hope this is helpful. Thanks.